happens, I'm like doing it on paper. Like people dream about it. I'm doing that. And it's not, as someone who's doing it, like it's amazing, you know, it took 10 years to get here and it was so hard, but now it's great. But I just don't have the desire to, you know, in our entrepreneur world, it's so much about like scale and, you know, automate all this stuff. And I started doing that and I just found like, well, what am I doing? Now I'm just in this room even more talking to less people, you know, interacting less with people. And I like to interact with people. It's a personal choice. You know, a lot of music people are super introverted. I'm an extroverted mastering engineer, which is a rarity. Like most mastering guys I know, they picked it because you don't talk to people and you don't have to interact a lot, you know, in a personal level. But I'm just different. I'm just wired that way. I love talking to my clients. You know, that's why I do a podcast. I like to talk. You know, that's why we're doing a freaking Go.
Yeah, totally. No, I want to ask you about your own podcast.
Yes.
So first of all, I want to ask how you started it. How have you grown it? And lastly, like, can you pitch it to our audience to, you know, as like a supplementary side podcast? So
my podcast is called The Attack and Release Show. It's with my good friend, Matt Garber. This sounds just like my intro. And Matt is a master engineer I mentored 3 or 4 years ago when we got done with our year-long mentorship. He's in South Carolina. I mentored him from afar. He basically said, hey, this was like super valuable. What if we just did a podcast and regurgitate this whole past year of once a week talking about these topics you created that you thought were valuable? So I was like, okay, let's try an episode. So we did an episode. I loved it. He loved it. We put it out. People, you know, 40 people listened. They were like, you should do another one. So we've done now 2 years of content, and we cover everything. Our big approach mainly is like, how do you be a happy whole human while mastering or doing the thing you love? It's not mastering specific. But yeah, we've talked about just about everything possible. The community has exploded. I think its popularity has grown strictly because we tell the truth. And we have an interesting dynamic because Matt's just kind of starting and I'm like 10 years in. And so he and I have these different perspectives on how to approach things. So it's kind of interesting. And then we also just talk a lot about like mindset and psychology within it. So it's definitely not just a music podcast, but we do cover a lot of specific music things because our audience requests it. But it's every other Wednesday a new episode comes out. And we're going to keep doing it. We're ad-free. We don't do sponsorships. We've been approached, but we deny them because we cannot be bought. And our only desire with this podcast still is just to help equip and demystify the music industry so that people can understand that they also have a place in the industry and that we want to change the conversation to be more about community over competition.
The abundance mentality.
That's it, man. The audience is caught on. The amount of stories we've heard from people that are just like, you know, I started applying this and just giving it a try and it works. You know, when we're all in it together, the community, you know, invest in the community, everybody thrives. It's very, very simple, I think, but we're just told that you gotta, you know, grip as tight as you can to what you have, and somebody else is always trying to take your clients or something, and that's just not very true in my experience. So that's the podcast, and people can find us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever else it's distributed. It's on there.
Nice.
But yeah, if you want to check it out, that'd be awesome.
Love it.
So if you do, if you do check it out from this episode, message or email me and tell me that you got here from this podcast. That'd
awesome, man.
So, yes.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, well, I think we're about out of time, and your cell phone's about to die.
Correct.
So how can our audience find it? Well, I guess just find you on the internet.
Yeah, you can find me at Moses, MOSES, mastering.com, mosesmastering.com. Find me on Instagram, Moses Mastering. Those are the two main things. So if you type in mastering in Nashville, Tennessee, I'll probably pop up on the first page now. Took about 10 years, but I'm up there now. So, you know.
Slowly but surely.
So that's pretty impressive.
Nice. Dude, What a pleasure to meet you and to schmooze with you.
Oh, what a gift. Thank you.
I learned a ton, and I just thoroughly enjoyed just sitting here listening to your story and all about what you do and what you're about.
Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great day and be in touch.
I will. Talk to you later.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Secret Sonics. Again, I'm sorry it was so long, but I think you'll appreciate a lot of the things that were in there. If you enjoyed this episode or any of our other episodes, I'd super appreciate it if you would share it with a friend or two and give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. You can always search for the show on social media. Just look for Secret Sonics on Instagram and on Facebook. And send me an email if you have any feedback or anything you want to tell me. I'm open to hearing lots of stuff. So that about wraps it up for today. So until next time, hope you guys have a great week. Dig in, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Bye-bye.